see. Going beyond that, what about carbon fiber infused filament? So carbon fiber, show Shantech, give more context about the parts you're making. Are you currently making a minimum of 100 parts per month or so? If you're doing that, we can basically turn on any material you want. This is kind of a universal rule inside of Teleport. If someone is making a minimum of 100 parts or certainly 10 kilograms of material per month, we will pretty much turn on that material for your account. So you can basically get any material you want in Teleport so long as you meet those minimum quantity thresholds. And once that gets activated by somebody and just kind of breaks down the wall, then we will also start to make it available to other people as well. Okay, I love your content. Appreciate the live stream. Thanks so much. Fishing the Mid-South. What a good name. Abyssal Cactus. Did you print any of my models? I haven't been able to run through and print any of your models, dude. You can get a print. You can upload it and get a hold of one. I haven't had time to run through it. I work on the weekends, so I don't have time to run through one of those. And we only talked about it yesterday. Don't you? Are we allowed? Can I? I'll look it up. I may be able to get to some of them. Opinion on the New York governor requiring 3D printing to software to block gun parts. It doesn't matter. She only mentioned it, or they only mentioned it, or he only. I don't know who the governor is. It was only mentioned in the context of a State of the Union address, a State of the State address. So that doesn't mean it's going to become policy. It just means it's something that's forward in their mind as a thing to get people riled up. Generally, the State of the State addresses are meant to kind of give a bead on policy, but there's no way to regulate it. The machines can be built themselves. They're made in China, which has no regulatory requirement on it all, so it just doesn't matter. So I don't know what's up with all of it. I wouldn't worry about it, and it doesn't matter. And ultimately, if they're trying to stop bad people from doing bad things, a bad person can get a hold of a 3D printer from like this year that's been delivered already and print parts with it just fine. So the idea that the software is going to identify those parts is ridiculous. However, one company is capable of actually doing this, which is FISNA. FISNA has the technology to identify this, but it can't exist locally on the printer because it's too complex. There's no way for a printer to identify a gun part short of reading the word gun, which means you can't make Nerf guns, and you just remove like the word gun and then it's okay. Right, yeah, fishing the Mid-South. There's no way manufacturers could implement this. It's just a boondoggle. Devin, I have a part that is going to be exposed to the elements, so the main body is linked the skew with PETG and the smaller trim pieces of PLA. It's a speaker holder. Does your machines do multi-material? So if you've got one part that's PETG and another part that's PLA, that's totally fine. Inside of Teleport, well, let me say that. If you've got multiple parts with different materials, that's totally fine inside of Teleport. What you do is you just upload the files, all 5 files, to your Teleport, and then you select on one file and you say you want that one in PETG, and you select this one and you say you want that one in PLA, and then you select that one and you say I want that one in yellow. And that way you can get a part with a purple lid and a PETG black base and put them together, and ultimately the order is good to go. Okay, so what about slicers? Slicers could do it, but the slicers are open source projects, so how do you regulatorily require that software do it? Am I out of focus right there? Freaking, there we go. Got the autofocus back on. Wait, is the autofocus back on? No, it fell out again. This is so, I am so over this. Yeah, that gets really old right there. Okay. What else we got? What about slicers? Okay, cool. Did my cut, someone keeps on saying Devin. My name is Gabe. Or is there someone named Devin in the chat that you're all talking to? Or is this a thing that I don't know about myself, that I am recognized as Devin? looks like a video quality issue. It's not a video quality issue. It's a focus thing. Yeah, we'll get through there. Sweet, we got it all fixed. Okay, let's see here. What else? How many hours did the Lego brick print? Have you had prints that took days? Yeah, some prints take days. We printed a pretty high resolution in our parts, and they're a high infill. So, so all of the parts inside of Teleport are printed with a 0.2 resolution and 25% infill. So, depending on what the material is, parts can take days. And if somebody has uploaded a solid brick that takes up the full build volume of 220 by 220, it can take a minute to get the part out the door. But generally, it's not that big of a deal because there's just, I don't know, there's all the things that go wrong inside of it. We print it out, it takes 2 days to print it, and then it ships quickly, and it messes with our stats. But 99.5% of orders still go out in under 2 days. So, you are displacing your computer on the other channel. Yeah, I know. I'm doing that on purpose. I don't care, because the other one was just taking too long. So I'm gonna let this run. Looks like there's 2 streams. Need to go log off and back on. The second stream was about a minute behind. Yeah, guys, we got multiple streams going right now. There's one from the phone and one from the desktop there. Go ahead and pick the one that you like. We're doing that kind of on purpose. I would recommend the original scheduled stream, but it was having technical problems, so it finally got rolling there, but we got it going. I uploaded a test part to Teleport. Does the price reflect printing, packaging, and shipping all in that price? Let me answer this. So, does the cost of Teleport include printing, packing, and shipping in that price? So the price is for printing and packing. That gets it fully out the door. Shipping is a wholly separate cost because you never know what that is. So whatever price shows up on your file inside of Teleport or Portals, that's how much it costs to make the part. Shipping is then billed separately when we know where to ship it. Because if we have to ship it internationally, that's a different cost than if we have to ship it down the street. Okay. Let's see here. I barely got into 3D printing last year. Have you seen it rise in popularity? Yes, Bamboo has been one of the ones to really increase the overall reach of 3D printing because they talk to people that historically haven't been talked to. Hold on, let me put that over there. I see my stream is infinitely feeding on itself. But so much of what is going on with it is just a matter of, that's so funny. It's finally reaching other people and is being marketed towards other people who are not necessarily the traditional 3D printing nerds. So that's kind of how it goes. Okay, let's see here. Okay. I'm going to go back over here for anybody on the other mainstream. We'll catch everybody all over the place, guys. I don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah, overall, there's just like so... Everybody, the mobile stream is always better than the desktop stream. Always does better. Okay. Actually, guys, everybody who's down here, who's looking right here right now, go back over to the channel, join the other stream, because I'm going to end this stream for a second, even though it's been running for a moment. And we're just going to go to desktop because I want to demo a bunch of software there. So right here, I'm not going away. Just go to the channel and then go to the other stream. Okay. Right here. Okay. We're going to try this. We're going to burn the bridges for just a second to see if we can get this going. Alrighty then. We got everybody in here now. That's good. What's up? Hey y'all. So I'm going to go ahead. We got STL Bash here, which I was showing before was the way of making a sprinkler. We've got all the software here that lets people kind of build whatever you want. And inside of here, it's also a good way of getting the files that we have on the channel. So these like organizers that we did last week are all inside of here so that you can get a hold of them, download the files, do whatever you want to do. But if you want to do some more advanced kind of stuff, you can click on one of these and then you can go up here into pattern and then just apply a pattern to it. And now it'll pattern into whatever you want. So now you can export a set of organizers that really fits all over the place. I'm going to delete these You can create, yeah, you can do all kinds of nifty stuff. Single click is move, double click is scale. So if you double click that, you can just grab these different edges or these different edges and just do all the stuff to get it scaled up however you want and move it around and that kind of stuff. Make something interesting. But if you then drop in these other things like right here, I'm going to go ahead and make a sprinkler out of this. And just move it over here, and then move it over here, and then move it over there, and then scale it, bring it on down like this. Well, I'll bring it all up like that. That'll be fine. And then just go ahead and do a subtract. And then we're going to go ahead and get a sprinkler out of this thing. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, back here. Yeah. Great to see. Switch from the mobile to the desktop. What's up, man? Okay. I think if you're considering getting a printer, you should have some instinct about tech and machines, like a 3D printer or CNC. No, I don't think that's true anymore. You have to have an instinct about like stuff, like what is a part and that kind of thing. But right now, there's so many pre-prepped models and that kind of stuff that I don't think it's a big deal. People can do what they need to do over there. So, do you have any plans for custom post-processing? My design is a stand that needs those small silicon feet. Any suggestion to make it happen? So, Fernando, you can include those silicon feet. Inside of Teleport, you can have those parts included with the 3D print. But if you're on regular premium tier, the customer will have to assemble them themselves. But you can get the enterprise tier, and then we will do custom assembly for you, multi-material, different build sizes, all those kinds of things are available at the enterprise tier of Teleport. So you can absolutely do custom assembly and that kind of stuff if you want us to do that there. But right now, you can just, for the $20 per month tier, you can have those parts included. And those silicon feet will go along with the part. So that's totally easy to do. If you want to, reach out to us at info@slant3d.com, and one of us can get on a call with you and talk through what it is that you need. Okay. Can you add 2 different STLs from a library such that they are close? Oh yeah, here. Let me just do this. You can absolutely add multiple STLs to a single order inside of Teleport. You just match up those 2 files to it and then set the materials for each one of the files and the colors for each one of the files. It's super easy. So let me just walk you through it here. So if you're over here in the matches page, let's go ahead and just create a new match. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a manual entry where I put in a SKU. So you go ahead and say SKU multi-match _1, just like this. Then you have your files that are inside of here. And you can also include catalog files if you want to, which are all the files that we give to people for free if you're part of the Teleport Premium tier. But you can select this file, and then I want it to be a set with this file. Great. And then I go over here to filaments, and I can change this one to yellow. And I want this one to be black pet G. Let me move this. Make this black pet G. And there we go. Now I have a yellow part and a black part together whenever this SKU is ordered. And then I can just create that match. And there you go. You have a match component included. And if I want to include some feet and some magnets, I can add those in. And then I can add in a custom insert card for custom packaging if you want it to. And just create that match there. And I'll update it. And we're good to go. There we go. And there I just made a match. And then if I want to make SKU 2, I can say, oh, I don't want that. I want this actually included. So I add this into SKU 2. And then I make it black pet G the way I want to, and then add in a bunch of components. And I also want a light bulb or a wireless charging puck with this one. So I go ahead and create a match, and now that match is created. And if I now go back and view matches, there are those 2 matches that I just made. So that's how easy it is to create multicolored parts inside of Teleport. It's stupid easy. Okay, what else we got? Okay. Bamboo Lab made 3D printing something that's accessible to nearly everyone. They certainly helped. It wasn't really a technological breakthrough. They just kind of built the box that was user-friendly. Because all the 3D printers had always been for the 3D printing nerds. And that meant that you could never really accumulate value outside of it. They also weren't marketed to other people. Bamboo explicitly made their machine for designers, so they made it look good for the designers. They made the user interface beautiful and nice, and they branded it all so well that other people could get a hold of it. It's not really, I don't really give them a ton of credit for like creating a brand new technology. They just finally made it a consumer product that was useful. For SKUs, SKU maker. Well, actually, can I go to Reddit? I want to see if I can get to Reddit here. See if I can go, if you want, whoa. Reddit's gone downhill given the fact, I don't think I'm logged in. Yep, not even logged in. That's just top result on Reddit. Wow. Okay, 3D print entrepreneurs. There we go. What a great thing to have to spell. Inside of here, if you want to know how to modify SKUs, you can go to SKU Master at slanttools.com right here. And there's 20 other tools here that we just added to the wiki. Go to SKU Master. And then if you go in here, you can just describe your item. So toolbox. And you can say, okay, it's going to be in different colors. And then it can select all the colors for you. And then I'm going to have 3 different sizes with 3 different colors. And then it'll add on the SKU like that. And then you might have multiple different versions of them all there. But then here are all the SKUs. And then you can copy the SKU and put it over here into Teleport to create your new match. And here we go. Now any order with that SKU will have that SKU. And that's how you can get it done. So it's really easy to get that stuff done. Okay, let's see here. Going through all the stuff. Okay. What else people got? Let me run through things, see if I can check this stuff before they all start running away. A customer orders a product. The product is put in a box. What does the label say? Is there a mention of Slant 3D teleports? Is it a white label? Michael Ashbury is Teleport and Portal's white label. So the box that is shipped is a white box with a label on the outside. It may have a Portals or Teleport sticker on the outside, but that's it. If you want custom stuff on the inside, what you can do is you can create this custom insert card right here. So when you're creating a match, you can upload this card, or you can go over here to like your profile and you can select a master card so that your branding is inside of the box. And that is the simplest way of doing it. You just go ahead and add your branding to your Teleport page, and then that insert card or thank you card or your logo or your QR code to your website all go inside of there. And that you get with the standard premium tier of Teleport. Okay. Let's see. Did I get everyone else covered there? Yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, if anybody's thinking about trying out Teleport, just reach out to support@slant3d.com and we'll get you set up with like a call and we can walk you through a bunch of this stuff. But yeah, the stream is always a good place to wander through this stuff. Once you get into it, you've got all your orders right here. You can, of course, any orders that are coming in, this is our demo account, so I don't have any test orders here. But you also have this. Prototyper, if you want to order prototypes, you can go in here and you're like, okay, here are my files. I want to order one. I want to see what it's like. Oh, I haven't connected a card to this account. That's all right. In order to get a prototype, you got to buy it and you got to have a card connected. Okay, let's see. We'll keep on rolling from here. Let's see. Moving from there to there to there. Let's go. Why an MBA is still worth it? What? Oh. It's just ads. Okay. Well, yeah. Inside of the wiki here, I'm going to go ahead and run through these. What? Disabled the wiki. Why did we disable the wiki? I'll get the wiki turned back on at some point. I don't know why that happened. But here inside of here, we've got all of these things. We've got a tool for QR generator where you can just like upload a QR generator. So you're www.slant3d.com. And it generates the QR, and you can get a PNG image, a PDF, or just print it right there, because those are the only options that you need for a QR generator. I can't believe they're so terrible here, but yeah, qrportal.xyz is a really good tool. If you want to do a shipping estimator, you can put it in here, and you can go like our origin address to 979904. Let's try that. Or you can go 00125. Is that a real zip code? Apparently not. 0008795. 10. There we go. Yeah, that's a real one. And it'll just estimate the cost between there for whatever your package is. So this is a really helpful tool if you're trying to get stuff shipped out. But then if you actually want the labels, you can just go to shipmything.com, and then you can put in an origin address, a destination address, and it will create the labels for you. So those are really helpful tools. Print price calculator. This, I think everybody should be using. Everyone who's running a 3D printing business should just run through here and do a double check on yourself. You put in your monthly orders. We did an update to where, we didn't push that yet. Okay, fine. We will get that deployed. It's supposed to detect your location from your IP address and estimate your zip code so that you can automatically have your local currency and other stuff inside of there. But it makes you go through material cost. You can upload a file and it'll auto-calculate it. You have labor costs. Are you giving free shipping to people? What is your failure rate inside of your print farm? Electricity, which doesn't matter. Everybody thinks it matters, but it does not matter at all. Just all this stuff. And then, let's see, all the other costs, your screws, your nuts, your bolts. Taxes, no one ever includes their taxes in here. And literally, if I put in my 83716, like the location of the Slant 3D print farm where we are right now, it'll add in your income tax, and then it can be included everywhere else where it belongs, just like this. It's so helpful. Yeah, I don't know why this stuff is never included in things. And then you know how much from your profit you're paying up in taxes, so how much you're actually making after everything else. And then your platform fees, to actually know which platform fees are. So like TikTok Shop takes like 10%, Etsy takes like 12%. There's just all this stuff. But after it takes all of those expenses, it goes ahead and tells you, okay, how much do you want to be making? All right, that's what you should charge. And if you don't charge that, you're doing it wrong. Because you just won't pay the bills, plus pay yourself. Like literally, we have a pay yourself tab right here, because a lot of people don't. And you say, okay, how much time are you going to spend on this business per month? Are you using someone else for labor, or are you doing everything? And how much do you need to make per hour to make this worth it to you? And then owner's pay goes in up here, right here. This is how much time per month you're spending on this. And that's what you need to charge, or you're going to work for free. That's just what it is. PG&E in California. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Electricity rates. What is a zip code in California? Can I set? Well, no, I can just set the rate. So it's 0.52 per kilowatt hour down in California. Just like this. And I just ruined, hold on, I was typing stuff in. Let me change the view again of the thingamajig. There we are. We should be good again. Showing PG&E. Just like that. Oh no! The cost for this part that takes 3 hours, well, wait a second. Oh, I don't have print time. Do we not have print time on here? Oh no, we have printer depreciation. And then yes, the print time for the part. For a 2-hour part, if it's a 100-watt printer and everything else, you spent 10 cents on electricity. Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm trying to be sympathetic, but I can't be sympathetic when it's $10 per. Okay, let me do 9456. 94566. Just like this. Lookup rate. Okay. Electricity rate, 4 cents for a 2-hour print and a 100-watt printer. Let's make it a terrible 500-watt printer. Now it's 20 cents. Okay, I'll go if we've got a 500-watt printer, which I've never run into a 500-watt printer. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. If I go 0.54, just like that. Okay. If you have a 500-watt printer, which no printer runs at, most printers, even bamboo machines, run at like 1 to 200 watts at steady state. As much as like a large, powerful incandescent bulb, once they're heated up. At startup, it could be more. But yeah, ultimately, you can use whatever you want. What's the most reliable print farm workhouse? I don't recommend using consumer machines off the rack at all, because if you're building a print farm and you use off-the-shelf machines, those are designed to be consumer devices that burn out. Like, we use a third-party machine inside of our print farm for backup, but we're not endorsing it because, number one, we modified it quite a bit, and number two, we expect them to burn out faster than our in-house machines. So Slant 3D, we built our own machinery for print farms so that they're able to do auto ejection correctly, and they're architected well, and they don't depreciate completely. Because a consumer machine, number one, if you're buying bamboo, you have no idea how long it's going to last because they've only been around for 3 years. Most parts, if you're working in printer depreciation is not a lot. But this is over the course of a 2-hour print. So 6 cents per hour, that machine loses value based off this. If it's a cheap machine, it can be more. If your bamboo machine burns out at whatever, then you're spending $900, and now it's like 15 cents per hour of print time. And for us, with thousands of machines, you're losing $150 per hour of the machine just wearing out for consumer machines. And that's very expensive when you have really large scale prints. What's the best way to contact your company with questions on teleport portals? Just email support@slant3d.com. You can also email info@slant3d.com, but it can be slower. Okay. But you might also have room conditioning. Oh, for power? Yeah, that's possible, but you're going to have room conditioning anyway. So if you're printing in your house, that's a thing. Yes, all the other power is part of power, but we're only looking at the printer itself on a per part basis. Overhead inside of a 3D printing business goes on forever. So that's always kind of one of the concerns, but you got to learn to kind of deal with it. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Do you have any plans to sell the 3D printers you make? No. We sold 3D printers in like 2020 and 2021 for a minute, and it's not worth it. Because a printer designed for a print farm is a totally different monster than a printer designed for anything else. So consumer machines are not meant to be in print farms, and we cannot make our printer consumer friendly enough to work in other stuff. Our newest generation of printers don't even have displays on them. So you have to operate them with the app. So that's just kind of part of life. Is there a way to be able to print most of your products, but if you get overloaded with orders, teleport becomes an option? Oh yeah, totally. A lot of people do this. So inside of teleport, if you want to run just teleport as an overflow option, what you do is you just go here into settings, and then you turn off automatic order fulfillment. And that way, whenever an order comes into your orders page here, it'll show up and say, it'll ask to submit it. And what you do there is you just say, you submit the ones that you want us to take, and we'll take those. Otherwise, you fulfill all of them yourself, and they just kind of run by. But if you want us to just take over all of fulfillment for a minute, you just flip that on, and then we will take over all orders that are matched to us. The other thing you can do is, like, if we don't have a match, we will not print it and ship it. So if there is no match for the SKU that shows up, we won't start printing it. You have to match it to us first. So if you have like a whole genre of products that you want to have yourself fulfill because there's some special thing to it, just don't have them attributed to us. And then any orders that you want us to just take as overflow, we can. So a lot of people do this. They will turn us on like when they're going on vacation, and we will ship all their orders then, and then they'll turn us off when they want to run it at home again, and they want to change out filament at 2 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, teleport has a huge amount of flexibility inside of there to where it can just be an overflow. We always say it's like having 1,000 machines on tap. When you have surges of demand, you can turn on teleport and get through that surge, and you don't have to buy 10 more machines that won't be used after the surge. You can just have us fulfill orders for a bit. So yeah, Sean Tech, we can absolutely just fulfill some of the orders for you however you want them to do. You can have them automatically partial or flip the switch, whatever it was. Does Slant 3D have fan merch? I like a notebook, for example. When I podcast, I can write important stuff. We don't have merch. No, wait. Somebody on the stream had created an Amazon merch store, and We bought one of the shirts, but it was like screen printed, and Amazon merch, quite frankly, just kind of did a cruddy job. So we don't want to release that out there. But a Slant 3D notebook would be cool. We probably should do something like that. We haven't had time to do merch. Like, we're too busy like working on stuff that like is important and makes the product better for people. So we haven't done merch because it's just not worth the time right now of the things that we should be doing. Alrighty, let's see here. And then you got portals. If you want to start selling and you don't want to do anything else, you can go ahead and create a portals page. Oh, I haven't created a storefront yet. Portals is just, if you don't sell on Etsy or Shopify or something, you can start selling on portals really fast and easy. It's 30 seconds and you upload a part. But yeah, all this stuff. And then you can add in your Etsy store or your Amazon or your Shopify. Those are all options here. And then coming over here. And then if you need help and you're in Teleport Premium, you can click right here and say, I need help. And then you send that message through and it goes. But I don't need that message right now. Okay. All the things. It's funny, right now I'm doing maintenance on my printers. So, Sean, you probably should connect up to Teleport because then you never have to do maintenance again. This is like, seriously, this is really great about Teleport. You get 1,000 machines, so you have as many machines as you need. You don't have to worry about hiring people. You don't have to do machine maintenance anymore. Instead of working on the machines, which doesn't increase your revenue, you can go make a TikTok video, which can market you more. You can design a new product. You can create a new listing. You can refine your extra store. You can figure out how to advertise. You can do things that actually grow revenue rather than running the machinery, which you also have the cost and operations of the machines because you got to change it at 2 a.m. in the morning and you got to ship boxes out. None of those things help you sell more. But adding in Teleport to replace that whole factory allows you to sell more. So it's really a huge unlock. Plus, if you're the other big advantage of Teleport, I mean, like, this is just a huge advantage of Teleport. If you are international, like you're in the UK or Australia or some other country around the world, you can ship to the United States and you don't have tariffs. Because if you connect Teleport in, if an order comes in from the United States, we print it and ship it to that customer on your behalf. And now you don't have international shipping time, you don't have international shipping cost, you don't have any of these problems that come with shipping stuff across an ocean. Teleport prints it in the United States, delivers it to customers in the United States for you. So it's super helpful. Okay. Do you ship within the EU? Can we make our own storefront using an API? Oh, yes, Vivani. We ship to the EU. Our print farms are inside of the US. But like what I just said there, you can print and ship items for US customers from Teleport, and that way you don't have to ship stuff from the EU. But we will ship to the EU and we will ship to Australia. We have international shipping. It's just coming from the US. If you don't have a storefront yet, if you don't have an Etsy store, then I would say go ahead and use Teleport or Portals here. Because inside of Portals, you can go ahead and just create an item, and you can select from one of your existing files and say, here's a thing, my new item, and then give it a description of whatever you want, upload some photos of it, say I want this printed in PETG black. It'll tell you what it costs to make it all, because this is a big old claw, and say I want to sell it for 15 bucks. You will earn $5 for every order of this portal, and then you go ahead and open up the portal. Are we losing connectivity? We better not be losing connectivity. I'm seeing buffering. I don't want to be seeing buffering. Okay, let's see here. We're buffering. We're buffering, guys. It says we have an excellent connection, but I'm not seeing an excellent connection right now. Don't you dare buffer on me. Don't you dare buffer on me, thing. Can somebody comment if you can actually still see me right in this moment? Vivani, if you want to do that, if you want to actually use the API, Slant 3D API. There we go. Right here, you can go here to Slant 3D API. And this is the way to do it. let me paste this down here into that. There's the software API if you want to plug right into our farm. So it operates exactly the same way. But yeah, you can go here inside here. Looks good. It came back. Yeah, great. All right. Yeah, I had buffer wheels on my side for a second there, and it was freaking me out. But yeah, Vivani. Right here is the API documentation. You can do a software integration with us to your custom site, and we will print and ship orders there. And if you need any help, just reach out, and we can help you out there. Okay, let's see here. I'm a software developer. I have my own store, so I want it integrated with our own site. Oh, here's the thing. If you have your own store, and it's like, if it's built on WooCommerce or Shopify, Teleport plugs straight into those. So yeah, Teleport plugs into every single marketplace. It will go to Etsy or TikTok Shop or Shopify, Amazon, WooCommerce. All of those websites and services will work with Teleport just fine. You just plug it in. It takes about maybe like 10 minutes to connect any one of those, and then you're good to go. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? So there was a question about in print price calculator earlier there. Let me get back over here to this. So the about print price calculator. How do you come up with the lifespan of a printer? So you can kind of find a few of these. The default is generally okay. You can almost give the printer a lifespan of like 10 times whatever its price was. So if you paid $300 for the printer, you might get 3,000 hours out of it. If you paid $900 for the printer, you might get 9,000 hours out of it. So that's the way to kind of do printer lifespan. It's a good like rule of thumb if you don't know. But cheaper machines sometimes don't go 3,000 hours. Like, if you think about it, 3,000 hours, that is 100 work weeks of time. 2 years printing all the time during the work day. Not a lot of $300 printers actually do that. And a lot of people don't actually print at that level. So they don't actually last that long. So if you've got like a P1S, 5 to 10,000 hours is pretty good. I wonder how long ours last. So our machines are spec'd to run 24/7 for 5 years. So what is 24 times 7 times 365? Wait. 24 times 365 times 5. So our machines are spec'd for 43,000 hours. They're almost 10 times better than a typical consumer machine. That's how they're designed. That's the spec that they have to operate at to be useful. Whereas a normal machine, if I estimate that a Bamboo Lab goes for 24 times, for 2 years. So 2 times 365 times 24, how many hours is that? That's 16,000 hours. Yeah, I don't think a Bamboo runs for 16,000 hours. But here's the thing, guys, like printer depreciation is still quite small in the cost of the part. You spend way more on labor cost than you do on something like printer depreciation. So it's not really a place to focus. You can replace the machines fairly readily and just add another 30 cents or a dollar to the cost of your parts, and that pays for machine wear. That's kind of how to do it. So after 1 year, almost all my machines are worn out. Oh, wow. If after 1 year of use, yeah. You want to use Teleport. That way you never have machines wear out. Like, this is a really underappreciated feature of Teleport, that you never have machines wear out anymore. You don't have to replace machines. You don't have to get new machines. You just have 1,000 machines on tap, and they're always the current state of the art and parts going out the door. Like, all the advantages that you get inside of Teleport from being able to plug into some other print farm to where you don't have to run the print farm is really underrated, because you don't have to have machines wear out. You don't have to refill them at 2 a.m. You don't have to hire people to help you. You just get the production capacity of 1,000 machines without any of the headaches. And that's a really big deal. Okay. I've gotten 5,000 hours on my A1 Mini Shantech. Really? That's pretty darn good. What is that? So that's about a third of a year of continuous time. So like 3 or 4 months of continuous operation. Did I do that math right before? The A1 minis hold up pretty well, and especially if you're making the same thing that doesn't like stress them or run them too fast, that all works. They can hold up pretty decent. Okay. It's all custom. It's all custom, so those API docs will be perfectly fine. Docs look clean and clear. Great docs. Vivani, here's the thing. Using the 3D printing API, you can almost vibe code. You can vibe code off of it. We've done a test of this, and we have some videos coming out. We have built lovable apps that use our API. Down at the very bottom of the docs on the API page, if you go into the documentation, down at the very bottom you have access, and you should be able, right here is the link to a JSON that has the full documentation, so you can just paste this into whatever your model is. We guys pointed it towards OpenAI, but you can paste it into Claude or something like that, or Lovable, and you can have the full API documentation in there. The one trick, if you're vibe coding with the API, is just tell it, get a draft order in order to create it, and then create a real order to actually make the purchase. And that's the thing. Let's see here. I have replaced parts, have machines down, and man, and still have reached out end of life all on an A1 Mini. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2,500 hours for an Ender 3 is about what I would expect for that kind of stuff. They burn out pretty quickly. Let's see here. What is your typical machine downtime percentage for maintenance? Oh, it's small. It's small. Plus, we track the machines. If a machine passes a certain amount of downtime, it's pulled from production. Or if it has certain errors or whatever else it was, it's just pulled from the farm and sent over to a separate assembly line. So our Kraken control software that lets our print farm run is constantly tracking how the machines operate and grades them. And like you machine are just a bad egg. You don't get to be used anymore. Does Portals have a marketplace that show different seller stores? It does not currently. Portals is, but it will. We're going to turn something like that loose pretty soon. Portals is designed for social media so that you can create a listing really quickly and then share it so that people can just buy it. So Portals isn't really meant to have like a storefront. We introduced the storefront because sellers would have like 10 or 12 items and they needed to be able to take their people to just that storefront. But you would, there would be all these issues where Portals having a storefront doesn't like increase your traffic. It just lets your people see more of your listings. But we're working on allowing Portals to show stuff off for people. So if you have a public Portals, it'll show up in the Portals marketplace and you can get a hold of it. Is there any way you could check my 3D models on MakerWorld? Maker209, give me your username on MakerWorld. I'm happy to take a look. What do we got? As Dean called it, you can work on your business or you can work in your business. Very good statement there. That's exactly what it is. Working in your business is doing the day-to-day work, packing boxes, changing out filament, changing out machines. Working on your business is creating more products, improving marketing, things that actually increase revenue. Working in your business is doing what you need to do to earn the revenue that you just earned. Working on your business is doing something that increases your revenue. So if you are packing boxes or changing out filament or maintaining machines, you're working in the business, but that means that the business isn't going to grow. You need to be working on your business so the business can grow. Reach out to a customer, say what else they need, those types of things. Do a live stream once in a while. Things that build on themselves. Hopefully we've created Teleport so that it allows people to work on their business rather than working in their business. And they have so much more scalability on the back end. Okay. But high dollar as it requires... Oh yeah, small time for a printer being down, but high dollar for fixing it requires an employee interaction. Absolutely. This is a thing that people don't realize is like here's an interesting thing. Like at Slant 3D, we do not hire people who are hobbyist 3D printers. Generally, if somebody says, I've got 5 printers at home or whatever else it was, we realize that that's a resume that we can't engage with because someone who's a hobbyist doesn't realize that statement of the value of time. That hobbyist will say, oh, a printer's down, I'm going to go fix that printer. And I, as the business operator, is like, don't touch that printer. We have 1,000 other machines here. They'll make up for it. You cost 15 to 20 bucks an hour or more. Don't you dare go spend 15 minutes changing a nozzle or troubleshooting that machine. Pull the machine, put a new one in there. Because at 25 bucks an hour, we can buy a new machine after you diddling around for a day or two. So just don't do that. But trying to break somebody out of that hobbyist mentality is so difficult that we found that we just can't hire people like that. So unless we generally hire people in manufacturing or people who just know how to operate or people who work in restaurants because they realize that time is valuable. Okay. Maker209, did you share your Maker World name? Okay, let's see here. What else we got? I have been following Slant 3D from the moment I started 3D printing, and now I see the true value of plugging into a print farm. Talking about value. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. Yes. The value of plugging into a print farm is, yeah. And there's a reason that we're doing this. It's like we're trying to help people out with this. Like, the value of teleport is so much bigger than people realize. And like just the fact that you do not have to mess with a print farm. You do not have to hire people. You do not have to spend time packing boxes. You do not have to know what the current tariff rates are. You do not have to deal with any of this stuff. You can just create products and build and work on your business where you can actually increase revenue. It's so amazing to me. Like I have a story here. It's a really good story of a guy who had his business kind of decline after he left Teleport. He was working with Teleport and he's like, Gabe, we're paying you $3 per part or something, but I can make it for 50 cents of PLA. And I'm like, dude, you'll have to pay people and you'll have to pack boxes and everything else. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it myself. So he went and did it himself. And because he put so much more of that stuff onto himself, he made himself his own point of failure. So yes, he was able to pay 50 cents of PLA for it, which is what he was paying us to do, but then he had to hire somebody full time to pack boxes. Or he would have to do it himself, which then ruined his life. He started stressing out. Since he had a payroll has to be hit every month regardless of whether you have 100,000 orders or 2 orders. With Teleport, that just ramps up and down because you only pay us when orders come through. But he created so much more risk for himself by bringing it in-house rather than using Teleport because he became less flexible. Because Teleport prints and ships however many orders you come through, and you have the advantage of the swarm of other people in there. So you get the cost advantages, the 1,000 machines, all of it. But he took it in-house. He had 10 machines. When orders ramped back up again, he couldn't keep up. He had employees that were costing money even when there was not work to do. So he had to keep people busy, and he just created a huge amount of angst and stress for himself that eventually made the company decline over time. Because the way he made sales was he made videos on TikTok. And since he was so busy filling out machines and dealing with employees and stressing about things, he didn't have time to make more videos for TikTok. So sales went down, his life got more miserable, and nothing got better because he thought he could save a nickel by switching away from Teleport when when you have all the expenses of the business together, Teleport is actually cheaper. And actually, I can demonstrate this, guys. In Print Price Calculator, let me find a STL here real quick. So let me go ahead. We've got to have an STL somewhere on this computer. Pepsi Claw. Here's a file. Please let that be an STL. Yeah, let's just run through what Teleport costs versus like what business operations cost here. So we've got this claw. All right, so as it is right now, it's going to go ahead. It's estimating that many grams for it all. Post-processing, $15 an hour. This part would have some support on it. So yeah, about 5 minutes of post-processing. I'm going to say like 3 minutes of packing time, 2 minutes of packing time. And then customer support, I'm going to take that down to 5 minutes, just so that we're giving it the best shot it's got. Failure rate, 7%. Cost of power, oh, this is all wrong. 100 watts. There we go. And let's go. I'm going to go for 97904. Lookup rate. Whatever that rate is. Okay, there we go. So there's electricity, printer depreciation. If the printer cost is 300, let's say it's an A1 mini. Well, I mean, I'm trying to give it as much credit as it can here. And let's say it lasts a long time. So printer depreciation is that. Cool. And then we've got pay yourself. Don't need to pay yourself. We'll get rid of that. We'll say you're working for free. You make 100 parts per month. I'm going to take that up to 1,000 parts per month. Add another 0 there. Let me go ahead and put my camera back where it belongs. And then let's see, going from here to there. Other costs, don't have anything else there. You've got sales tax. You've got income tax, platform fees, selling on Etsy. Great. So it costs $6.31 if you're doing it yourself and you're not paying yourself and you've actually got good volumes on it all. Or it costs $8 with teleport, and then you have a margin of $12. Or you cannot have to do anything and you earn about $3 per. And since you're earning $3 there, you got the Etsy platform fees, right? All this stuff. So about $12 for it, or you can increase your margins there and sell it for $15. But as soon as you hire an employee, and you need to pay yourself, you turn on pay yourself, and now you've got cost per part, $25, 1,000 hours. You're probably spending more time than 20 hours per week. Let's just say you got a full week working on this per month. There you go. So now the cost difference between teleport and doing it yourself is not that much, but you have all the advantages of teleport, because factored into this is not the cost of being able to immediately deliver 1,000 parts tomorrow if you go viral, or all that other stress and angst of doing it yourself. We should add in like stress and angst onto this. Like, how much is it worth for you to be miserable? All right. What else we got here? Oh, sorry, guys. I flipped the switch here. Okay. We did show the screen, right? The screen did come back up eventually, didn't it? Please tell me the screen came back up eventually. There we go. Is there any way to control a seam line when sanding a model? You can set it at the rear. You can set it aligned so it kind of disappears. As I was going through setting up and seeing the cost, I have to balance what my percentage needs to be versus what I would be if I printed it myself and dealt with shipping and ads. Well, that's true, but like, you got to realize that you doing it yourself, you're taking all the angst, you're taking all the work. And if you're doing it yourself, it seems like it's cheaper because you're like, I'm keeping all the money. But as soon as you hire an employee, it changes. If you're building a business, you cannot simply value your time. You need to value your time plus somebody else. Because again, it comes down to, are you paying someone else to do this? If you're doing it yourself and you want to run a print farm internally, in order for it to grow, you eventually need to hire people, which means that you need to make a living and that person needs to make a living. So you need to estimate in your costs right from the start what it costs to have you be paid and that person be paid. Because like in this one that I just did, this isn't even full time. Full time would be not 120 hours. No, 160 hours per month. So if you're only doing 1,000 parts per month and you have an employee helping you out, but you also work full time on the business, and by the way, this employee is not full time. You don't know if the employee is actually full time or if it's just on a per part cost. So the employee could actually be way more expensive because yeah, they spend 5 minutes post processing, but then they process the parts for that day and then they're standing around. So it might actually be 10 minutes per part. So it's very easy to make everything to suddenly become way more expensive if you have employees, because they are not machines. They don't work perfectly. This is true if you're using teleport, because each part has a set cost and you know exactly what that is. When you have employees, you have variable cost. So now, whether you have parts or not, you have to pay people. And that can really drain on the business a ton. To where if you're paying yourself and you're paying employees and you're not doing enough parts per month, like in this case, let's change parts per month here. How many parts do you need to make in order to have it break even with teleport? Sorry. I just ruined the screen again. Hold on. Let me hit 2 here real fast. Let me make sure my view continues to work here. 2,000 hours, still 2,000 parts per month, 3,000 parts per month. So at 3,000 parts per month, with you paying yourself and paying someone else, then you start to break even with teleport. If you're operating as efficiently as teleport does. And actually here, let me, right here. Oh, sorry. Put me that back. Not 100, 200 minutes there. But yeah, so it's really important to business model this stuff correctly because people don't realize all the things that can show up and go into it that can really flummox you if you do it wrong. And will set your business up to fail. So I like this. This is a side effect of teleport. This is a real side effect of teleport that doesn't come up a lot, and it's the fact that teleport forces you to build a good business. Since it has baked in the cost of operating a business as efficiently as it can be, because we make 1,000 parts per day, and we have the best printers, and we've picked the cheapest filament that's still good, and so on and so forth. All of that is information and resources that you get for free that otherwise doesn't automatically come up for free. And but so using teleport as a baseline manufacturing cost is what your baseline manufacturing cost probably would be. So it's really useful to have teleport make sure that you're actually operating your business well. Because if you can affordably sell your product with teleport, then you can probably affordably insource it, but now you're dealing with all the stress and problems of insourcing. So it's a good exercise to use it to make something reliable. Employee cost in Boise is very low, most likely lower than Idaho or most of the country. So that's not true. I use employee cost at like $15 because that's like kind of the generalized minimum wage around the country. But yes, it's more than that inside of our company, and it's more than that in many places of the US. So yes, I am with you. The employee cost is not actually an hour rate of $15 an hour. But that's kind of what you can get away with because that's like what Amazon charges. There's some places in the country where you can still pay somebody $10 an hour. Not many places, but there's places. Okay. Do you print multicolor stuff? Yeah, you can print multicolor stuff. If you become a part of the enterprise tier, then you get access to multicolor inside of Teleport. But it's easier to just stay on the premium tier and have like a part over here that's purple and a part over here that's yellow, and then just put them together and you have a purple and yellow part. That's easier. Do customers get a better price for shipping if they buy multiple prints in the same order? Yes, they do. If you are doing it yourself, are you accounting for gas to drive to ship it? Just as an example of the hidden cost. Yes. The gas to go ship it. The time to go ship it. The boxes. We don't include the cost of the box in here, but the cost is like 20 or 30 cents. There's just all this stuff. Oh, we should add that to price calculator. Packaging. We should just set up like, okay, based on the size of this part, this is the box that you have to apply to it. And based on that box, this is how much packing time is for it. All these kinds of things. Yeah, there's so many costs that people just don't recognize. And they're just like, oh, you're 50 cents cheaper, I'm going to do it myself. And like that's a terrible way of looking at it because there's guaranteed you're not looking at everything. Yeah, for EU, the service is sadly not interesting. Shipping is $34. What I get though, but makes it hard to use it overseas. But Vivani, if the cost is $34, shipping to the EU can be expensive. That comes up. I get that. It is expensive. You guys have your tariffs on the US and so on. But if you are selling items to customers in the United States, the US is the biggest market in the world. So if you are an EU seller and you have customers in the United States, you should use Teleport. Because rather than having your customers pay international shipping and then wait 2 weeks for the item to arrive and then have it caught in whatever the tariffs or the customs are that day, you can simply connect up to Teleport and then any US customer can have it delivered from Teleport. And now shipping is under $5 and it arrives in a couple of days. And it's based in the United States and you have no tariffs at all. So an EU seller who has customers in the United States should really have those customers be fulfilled by Teleport because it ships faster, it ships cheaper, and you have no tariffs. So that's a really big unlock for EU sellers. So certainly if you have EU customers, I can get why you wouldn't want Teleport to fulfill stuff for the EU customers. But if you have any US customers at all, you probably should plug into Teleport just so they can get taken care of. $20 to $40 time, yeah. Great for covering customers. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, Canada too. Canada is also a really good one for us. It costs whatever, $10 to ship to Canada and that kind of thing. have you heard about the legislation for the 3D printing ban? There's no legislation on it yet. Governors are saying words, but there's been no actual legislation passed through yet, guys. So it's a thing to be worried about, but it doesn't matter. The pitchforks don't actually exist. So yeah, don't worry about it. It's politicians talking. No bill has actually been passed or voted on or anything like that. Okay, let's see here. What else we got? What else you got, guys? Does anybody need any help with teleport or portals here? Any walkthrough info? Let's see. We're buffering again, but is what it is. Okay. Okay. Alright. What else we got? We were running through tools. I'm going to check on the wiki, because that's dumb if that's the case. Print price calculator. Here's the other tools. I'm going to go ahead, sharing this. Wait, turn that on there. Quick. So here, if you are looking for questions and answers and like more community guys, go to the 3D Print Entrepreneurs subreddit. We just posted a whole bunch of tools, about 20 tools, to where you can do STL modification, step to STL, a number of file generators, helmet resizing if you sell cosplay. There's product photography GPTs that will improve your photography or just generate it for you. And then, of course, teleport, mass production resources, ways to make SKUs, a QR generator, print price calculator is over here if you want the link. I'll drop this link into chat, too, because that's just useful for everybody. And then, let's see here. What else we got? I'll drop this right here. Okay, and then, yeah, we can go from there. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. The difference between portals and teleport. So portals is marketplace, to where you are instantly selling in 30 seconds. You do not need a store, you do not need a Shopify, you do not need Etsy. Portals is that marketplace. Teleport plugs into your Etsy store or your Shopify and that kind of thing. So Portals is a side service that is plugged into Teleport. So if you have all your files inside of Teleport connected up to your Etsy, you can also post them over into Portals, and then you can maybe get some more sales that direction and some more reach. So Portals is just a place to start selling instantly. When we first created Portals, Portals was intended to allow you to upload a file and start selling in 30 seconds. And that's way faster than other sorts of ways of doing it, because otherwise you would have to set up an Etsy store or set up a Shopify store, and all those things take days, hours, weeks to get set up. And with Portals, you can just upload a file and immediately be selling. You upload the file, you create a listing, and then you can share that link around, your Portals link around, and then anybody can buy it from you. So it's a really fast, easy way to start selling. Teleport is a print-on-demand tool, so you can plug that into your existing Etsy store or Shopify store or anything along those lines, so that when you get an order from one of those stores, you can immediately have it printed and shipped by 1,000 machines. It's a service that plugs into your existing store. But Portals is a way to just replace that store. Okay. People should view Slant as an equivalent of send, cut, send. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I love the send, cut, send guys. They do such a great job. We're a little bit different than send, cut, send, because send, cut, send does not plug into your store. We plug right into your store to where if you get an order, we will print it and ship it. But send, cut, send, we're trying to build out more tools kind of like them to where you can just upload a file and then have it delivered to you. But prototyping is just kind of a tough place to be. We're trying to refine that more and more so that revenue grows. But yeah, we're working on fixing a bunch of that stuff. Any suggestions for finding people that do listings, descriptions, copy, graphic design? I love designing and making, but I struggle with effective listings. So here's the thing. These tools down here, product photos, and we'll build out some like description writers and that kind of stuff. Use those, and they will help you get out where you need to be with all this stuff. So yeah, if you didn't see that, hold on, let me put that back up here. Right here. In the 3D Print Entrepreneurs subreddit, we have this link. You can also go to slantpod.com. We have all these tools linked over there too. And that should be able to help you with things like descriptions and listings. Okay, alrighty. Alrighty, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. This was a great stream. We're going to continue to do this stream at noon every day, Mountain Standard Time, throughout the week, so that people can get help whenever they want to. We call it lunch hour. When I'm eating lunch, I sit here and I'll talk to you guys for an hour or so. So if you need any help or want connection with portals and that kind of stuff, go ahead and run over there, and we can help. I can help you troubleshoot stuff, help you with your stores, all that kind of stuff, and we can roll from there. Gabe, are you on LinkedIn? Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I can't guarantee I'll answer a message. A bunch of people reach out to me a lot of times, but yes, I'm on LinkedIn. If you guys need to get in contact with me, you can hit me on LinkedIn. You can chat here, of course. And then if you want to get in contact with the team, info@slant3d.com. And that's the email to use there. And we'll go from there. Sharing the email out on the internet. What could go wrong? But alrighty, guys. Have a good day.